This is Christopher Judge. You may know me best as Teal'c, and you are listening to Bad Nerds. Indeed.
Welcome to Stargate SG-1 for the first time. Still, not a Star Trek podcast. My name is Jeff Aiken, and I'm watching Stargate SG-1 for the first time.
And I'm Brent Allen, and I'm also watching Stargate SG-1 for the first time. But actually, I've seen it like 47 times. For the first time, though, I am looking for the sci-fi messages that Stargate is trying to teach us. You know, those things that hold up a mirror to society, give us hope that things can be better in the future. Just tell us how to be better human beings to one another.
This week, Brent, we're watching the 12th. Yeah, we're on the 12th episode of the fourth season. We're watching Tangent. And my prediction last week for this one was that there's going to be a rift between Jack and Daniel. And basically, Daniel's going to run off, take his ball, go home, do his own thing. And then, of course, they'll all come together in the end because that's the beauty of SG-1. Is there anything else that's beautiful about this episode that we need to know about?
You know what's really beautiful, Jeff, is
What's
just
that?
how good of a guesser you are.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as you mentioned, this is the fourth episode. Nope, this is the 12th episode of season 4. Titled Tangent. The original air date for this September 15th in the year 2000. This is a Peter DeLuise joint, so we will be sure to be on the lookout for his cameo and most likely miss it.
Yep.
Something else to look for, Jeff, and this is just fun. This episode has both a really great Star Trek reference and a really great Star Wars reference.
Oh, okay.
Both in the same episode. So be on the lookout for that. We'll see if you can't spot them. That's really all I got for you on the front end of this one. So with that, Jeff, why don't we go ahead and watch this episode?
Let's do it.
Hey, if you guys are out there joining us for the very first time, welcome to the show. Every episode is somebody's first time. The way this works is Jeff and I are going to watch this episode right now, and we're going to do it together. If you're hanging out with us over on YouTube, just chill out. You're going to be able to watch our reaction to that episode as it happens. And if you'd like to see the full unedited version of that reaction, head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/Bad
Nerds.
If you're listening to us on a podcasting app, we are about to, or you are about to gate into the future. Hopefully it's a good trip. We'll be on the other side waiting for you there. And then I'll share my first time reactions. Brent will share the sci-fi messages that he pulls out of this one. Looking forward to it. Brent, before I get on too much of a tangent, let's dive into this one.
Chevron 7 locked.
Very uplifting, kind of like victorious music.
I'm sure he'll be back soon.
Well, that'd be nice. Where else would he go?
I'm sorry, Jeff. This is something Stargate does often, if you haven't picked up on it yet. They open a show that they drop you right into the middle of something that clearly has been in the works for a very long time, and you will have never heard about it before. You know, and what's about to happen is this is something that has clearly been talked about, discussed in production, and I mean within the Stargate universe, not like in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is not new. And here we are. It's like, oh, they've never mentioned anything about this at all.
It's the equivalent of the and so then she said blah blah blah. Oh ha 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 ha.
Right. Anyway, that's just how I feel about it.
Exactly. Right. It's like
so yeah. Anyway, so Teal'c pushing the envelope, whatever. Let's go. Although I can hear the people out there right now. Well, they did talk about it when they said this thing back in the middle.
It was said on an episode.
That Jeep just does not look comfortable.
We've seen this guy before, yeah?
Is this?
Is there a problem, Colonel? No, sir. Not at all. Sure, Teal'c just felt he'd take her for a spin around the world.
While we're waiting, I have someone who'd like to meet your team.
Allow me to introduce to you Lieutenant General Vidrine.
General. Major.
General.
Doctor.
General?
General Hammond has told me nothing but good things.
Has he, sir? Well, then I'm sure he's left something out.
Such as?
Teal'c, you there, buddy?
Immediately to the southwest on you.
He's like, check me out. I'm in a death glider. Yep.
Time to buzz the tower.
I like that scene. Like, clearly painful.
All right, Top Gun.
Yep.
What in God's name is that?
That, General, is the X-301 Interceptor.
Looking good, Teal'c. Give us another flyby, low and slow.
As you wish.
We'll just count that as a Princess Bride reference too.
It's a hybrid craft, sir, made with a combination of good old American know-how and two Goa'uld Death Gliders that SG-1 recovered a couple of years ago.
It may be the most impressive aircraft I've ever seen.
Oh, it's more than that, sir. Up till now, we haven't had a platform from which we could launch an attack against a Goa'uld ship. Now we do.
Means we can do space battles now, Jeff.
He looks like he's having so much fun.
Dude, his eyeshadow is really popping on this one.
Well, that's difficult to explain, sir.
Oh, for a second I thought
You thought it was going to crash, didn't you?
Oh, it flies. Yes, sir.
How perfect was that music for this? Like stuff in, because clearly there's all that research going on. So we're just occasionally going to get the episode of, hey, here's a new cool thing.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
How does she fly, son?
The vehicle performed within expected parameters.
Sorry, sir. I couldn't help but get caught up in Teal'c's enthusiasm.
Jack and Vidrine are a good
Upon
couple.
completion of
They're
a
a good
flight test
pair.
program, we hope to deploy the X-301 as an orbital defense craft under your command, sir.
In all seriousness, if that's all right with you, Colonel, how effective can a single fighter be against a potential fleet of Goa'uld warships?
That is what these tests endeavor to determine.
Let's find out. What's next?
I take second seat for an air-to-air live fire test.
Our SGC control room will serve as mission control.
Light that candle, boys.
Yes, sir.
We didn't have the budget to build a whole new set, so we're just going to do it in one of our existing ones.
General
over there.
Vitrine wishes to perform some sort of candle burning ritual.
Yes. That's it. Exactly.
I like this Vidrine guy. Like, he's clearly just a straight arrow, but also he's not a stick in the mud.
Right.
Major, are you suggesting a slammer missile would be capable of taking out a Goa'uld mothership?
If it's armed with an Aquida-enhanced warhead and modified with a shield frequency modulator, yes, sir.
If we jack it up good, Batman's like, yeah, we can do that.
You know what? Here's the thing. You and I have both watched enough sci-fi, and I'm guessing you guys probably out there have too, where you and I can exactly follow and understand, yeah, if it's equipped with an Aquida-enhanced warhead and a shield frequency modulator.
Right. Yeah, that makes complete sense. Yeah.
Anybody who's ever watched any part of the Borg on Star Trek will be like, I know why they need that.
Right? Yeah, because
I
they
get that.
adapt. We got to get
Right?
over that.
Right. That, by the way, was not the Star Trek reference that I talked about earlier.
Okay. It'll be pretty weak.
Yeah. That's a cool looking ship, though, isn't it?
It is.
Attack one now.
Digger 1, you're going to overshoot.
Toke's like, no, I'm not.
Teal'c. Target's back that way.
Toke's out.
I am no longer in control.
Excuse me?
The craft is no longer accepting input from the controls. The drive is at full power.
Flight, I'm declaring an emergency.
The ejection system has malfunctioned.
We are no longer in control of the vehicle. I repeat, we have lost control and cannot eject. Please advise.
They're not responding.
We're experiencing atmospheric interference.
Their space
The glider was
control,
setting up to attack the
like their mission control desk, when you think of what a real mission control thing would look like, this looks like you and I setting up for a podcast in your living room.
Yeah, I was like, this is literally a
versus
radio
like
control
a television studio of what it should look like.
Uh-huh.
That's
Hey, do you want a table over here and then we can just string some cables around like this?
uh-huh. So you saw him leaving the atmosphere heading to space, right?
Yeah.
So this now means that Jack and Teal'c are astronauts.
Yeah, absolutely.
They should get their pin or whatever.
I like the lighting
Back here.
in there. It's just a cool looking cockpit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Teal'c, on our 6, is that what I think it is?
If you think it is Earth, yes.
It's shrinking.
The size remains constant. Rather, it is we who are moving away at extreme velocity.
Yeah, thanks for that.
That's how physics works and force
These
perspective.
instruments indicate drive shutdown. We are no longer accelerating.
That's
I'd be a little freaked
I
out
will
to take
attempt to
that off
restart.
in the middle of space.
Fun fact. This line bothers me all the time. All right. He says the engines have shut down. We are no longer accelerating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The definition of acceleration is a change in speed or a change in direction. So unless they are going at a constant speed now, which without the propulsion, I don't know that they have a constant speed. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. And they don't, as long as they're not changing direction, then true, they're not accelerating anymore. But,
Well, odds are they're accelerating or decelerating, right?
Well, I mean, so they're in space. So what's causing them to decelerate?
There's nothing that really would.
I mean, gravitational pulls of anything that are nearby them, but they're probably outside of gravitational effects on themselves right now, relative to Earth. But so I mean, I guess they could. This is where my knowledge of space physics fails.
Like, I'm smelling your next thesis.
if you're pushing at a certain rate and then you just shut the engines off, does your speed immediately become constant? You know?
Yeah.
And that's what I don't know, because you shouldn't have anything stopping you or slowing you down, but there is momentum and inertia that I would assume can change. I don't know.
You would think so.
There are limits to the things that I know, but
there are very few, but I know, like, I think about it in a terrestrial, with kinetic energy to potential to kinetic energy, but the rules are totally different in space because just the environment is so different. Because like down here, if I push a thing, there's going to be a period that it continues to accelerate at a certain rate after we've stopped pushing. When you don't have that drag coefficient and the gravitational stuff of everything, I don't know.
Well, with the inertial momentum dampeners and stuff that they have on there, he might be spot on scientifically accurate. Like, those things shut off and they're just going at a constant speed from there on out.
SG1 science,
nothing to slow them down.
SG1 science checks out.
As long as they're not changing direction, because you can maintain a constant speed. If you change direction, you're then still technically accelerating. Go look it up, folks. I'm not wrong. All right, here we go.
Oh, that's Apophis.
Against their god, know this. For your insolence, you will die in the cold of space. What was rightfully mine will now return to me.
Was that who I think it was? And did he just say what I think he said?
If you think it was Apophis, and he said the gliders from which this craft was constructed contained a device designed to return this glider to his homeworld, then yes.
Thank you for that explanation, Teal.
Dying?
In the cold of space.
Right.
Thanks for the clarification there.
Right.
Well, the old boy hasn't lost his touch, has he?
Where is Apophis for you right now, Jeff?
I think the last time I saw Apophis was him early in season 4, him like back alive and looking out over like
hell. He was in hell.
Yes.
And he took over Satan's role. Okay. Okay. He had the Phantom of the Opera mask thing going on.
Yeah.
General, maybe we should contact our allies capable of space flight.
Yeah, it's been a while.
See, Doctor, SG2, stand by to assist.
That's a good idea. They should have had somebody out there
roughly
just
1 million
in
miles
case.
an hour, give or take.
So where's Daniel going? How are you going to contact your allies?
George,
through the
maybe
Stargate.
It would be best if I return to
the control through the Stargate is
can contribute
right there.
You bring them home.
Yes, sir.
That's the plan,
Sir,
General.
The glider is going to pass relatively close to Jupiter.
Oh, wow.
We're hoping if we can somehow nudge your trajectory just a bit, you can perform a slingshot maneuver back toward Earth.
And come back to 1988.
1430 Zulu.
Yeah, Flight Digger 1, we read you. We have lost control of the craft to some sort of hidden recall device that apparently was Apophis installed in his death gliders. Over?
Did you say Apophis?
Controls are not responding.
Again, music doing a really good job right here.
And no reaction control system.
And unless you were just not hyper aware of it right now due to other things,
I was counting on them having at least some ability to move.
It would just...
I don't know.
I think I still would have... Like, it's so well done. I don't know. You could be very right also. A little sensitive to it. Do you see something? Oh, we got some weapons we can use.
Stand by, Flight. The weapon system we installed shouldn't be affected, right?
What are you considering, O'Neill?
Our missiles.
At this velocity, a great deal of thrust would be required to significantly alter our trajectory.
We just need a nudge.
I am unsure of that specific measurement.
They thrust in the wrong direction. They hit Jupiter.
Wait any longer and we're too late. Sir?
Do it.
Blown up on their way to Io, and all of a sudden we've got a new president. And stuff's just not going well.
Missile selection switch to AIM 120A. 4, 3, 2, 1.
You know, it always... I just love the fact math is what makes this possible. Like, you could just calculate what this is and
Weapons are releasing.
And just do it.
Guys, look up! Did
Go
you
back,
see
go
that?
back, go back. I did not.
Preliminary data.
Jeff!
Oh, shoot. That's a good cut. That's a really good cut. A lot of things had to go right for that to work.
Your current trajectory takes you out of the solar system and towards the Oort cloud, which you should reach in a few months.
In a few months.
We're all still thinking down here, so don't give up.
Well, we have a few days worth of like life support and no food or bathroom.
Also, you're sitting in this cramped seat, unable to
We're
really
all still
move.
thinking down here.
With
so
like a big helmet on and like a thing
Don't give
dangling off your face.
Yeah.
1813 Zulu.
Like if you get a cramp or you get,
Cabin pressure's holding.
bed sores.
We didn't spring a leak, though I may have just taken one.
The situation has indeed worsened.
You think?
Indeed.
Indeed, we got an indeed as
Power and
well.
life support.
I've always wanted to see the Oort cloud.
There's that.
Flight,
I love
this is
the
Digger One.
reflection, Jeff. I love the reflection
You
of
think?
the guys in the camera.
Indeed. Impact
See,
with the missile has
you see
damaged both
Teal,
power
like-
and life support.
I've always wanted
And
to
Jack,
see the
like I don't know if you can
Oort
see the
cloud.
reflections.
Yeah.
Like right there.
Yeah.
Flight, this is Digger One.
I spoke with a niece personally. She said they have a scout ship within a day or so of Earth, barely. But it's on a covert mission to a Goa'uld-occupied world, and the High Council doesn't want to expose their operative by making contact.
Then why would they bother to tell you that much?
They hope that the operative will complete the mission and report back to the High Council in time to help Jack and Teal.
Here's the thing that's interesting about that.
Yeah.
They're on a Goa'uld-occupied world about a day away from Earth. If I were General Hammond, I'd be freaking out a little bit about that right now.
Hey, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we know a scout ship's maximum speed from our mission to Natu. We also know it's a Goa'uld-occupied world relatively close to Earth,
So, that narrows it down.
Yes, it does. Sir, with your permission.
Granted.
I love that. Hammond's just like, yeah, you go.
Fire control systems.
Great. We'll just go to that Goa'uld-occupied world and find the operative and say, let's go.
Tell us how to fix this thing. We'll fly ourselves home.
Oh, and if you're thinking of trying to disconnect the recall device...
Saw that.
Sam thinks that would just make things worse.
Or is it just
Well,
one of the
already
ones?
Still a matter of identifying the Topra operative.
Anise said it was someone important to both of us.
Someone we know.
Yeah, it's her
At least
dad.
that's what we're hoping.
We know what the risks are, sir, and we're ready.
I can see that. You have a go.
Thank you, sir.
What are
Tell
the
them to
risks?
hang on.
Well, it's a Goa'uld-occupied world. So,
The best thing you can do is conserve your energy. Amadal at 2100.
enter a meditative state.
Teal can do that.
24 hours.
Our current power and life support will not last 12 hours.
Wow.
Let me do the math.
That's some pretty easy math, Jack. What about Kel Nareem? Like, does that, will you use less oxygen in that state? Enough to matter.
I think
12
if
hours
they,
worth.
I don't remember right offhand, but if they ever do mention it, it was just for that particular plot of that particular episode. Like,
I knew it. I knew
what the
it.
hell are you doing here?
Are you out of your minds?
Here you go.
What the hell are you two doing here?
Yeah.
We were looking
I didn't know that was.
Well,
the
you'd
answer.
better have a damn good reason, because I was 20 minutes away from detonating a weapons-grade shipment of Naquita that would have vaporized a sizable chunk of this planet. Now, if I hadn't spotted you two coming through the Stargate...
You saw us?
Yes, the ship was cloaked. Was being the operative word. Now they know we're here.
Colonel O'Neill and Teal'c need your help.
What happened?
You're stranded in a disabled glider headed into deep space.
This was the only ship within range.
Good enough. Let's go.
Good to see you too, Dad. Like,
What is
I-
it, Major?
Even at the scout ship's top speed, Colonel O'Neill and Teal'c will be dead by the time they arrive.
That's what they told us too.
just validating the proof right there.
You know, I've already done that freezing to death thing.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's just not as enjoyable as it sounds. So if we just consider there's no chance...
There is a chance, O'Neill.
24 minus 12.
If I place myself in an extremely deep state of Kelnareem, my heart rate will decrease, and our oxygen requirement will be lowered considerably.
12 hours worth, I asked.
You should have done that hours ago.
Yeah. Who will I talk to?
There is little to say, O'Neill. We have fought and won many battles together.
Yes.
It has been an honor to serve the Tory by your side.
Yes.
We are brothers.
Yes.
If we are to die, we die well.
It's the best way to die.
We could do better.
He's feeling antsy.
I would be too.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to sit here and wait for it?
Right.
Well, we were kind of hoping that you could, like, beam them over.
No, that's not right.
Beam them out. What am I, Scotty?
Nice.
Headache is bad.
If it's 1,000 hours by my math, they're 14 hours in because it was about 2,000 hours last time they were communicating. So buying some time.
Yeah.
I estimate 3 hours.
Okay. So yeah, Kellnering bought him 7 hours.
This is Digger 1.
It's not nothing. Also, same outcome.
Right. Trying to sleep might be your best way to. Yeah. I wonder, does a human's like oxygen consumption and stuff
Nothing's wrong.
go up or down, or does it stay the same when they sleep?
But there will be something wrong.
Well, let's just say I like to
I can
stop for a
guess
second and
either
make some
way.
repairs, but this isn't a particularly safe part of town to pull over.
What's that?
Just when I was afraid. Overtaxed the drives.
Excuse me, is that what I think it is?
That's going to be a mothership. A mothership. Yeah? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Headache is bad.
I kind of wish they would show, like,
Sometimes
maybe a little scruff on Hammond, some sweat, like just give that.
hours.
Like, they've been sitting there this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Some coffee and styrofoam cups.
Like, Davis looks like he's been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Hammond still looks fresh.
Yeah.
Do we have any new information?
Yeah, because, like, Davis has the collar up and stuff. And kind of.
Not since Major Carter reported they boarded the scout ship.
Let the man try to sleep.
Back to us, Crete!
Crete!
Back to us, Crete!
Feels like he's getting it.
All right, we're almost finished. Sam's just finishing.
That's good, because I don't think they bought my act.
Why? Who'd you say you were?
The, great and powerful Oz.
Punch it!
Jeff, that's your Star Wars reference.
Yep.
No, the punch it.
Okay. I'll just say even the punch it and then nothing happening.
I'd like to send a final message to Colonel O'Neill.
Yes, sir.
There's a part of me, if I ever was a Star Trek captain, I'd want punch it to be my go term.
We estimate our time to station keep with Digger 1 is 4
Marry the
minutes. Stand by.
You will seal the breach.
We're trying to contact Digger 1, sir. So far without success.
Just pull up right next to him.
Hey guys, how's it going? So you got a little
Somebody should be smoking
This is Carter.
cigar.
Do you read?
Are we too late?
I think they're unconscious.
Damn it,
Bump.
Colonel. We haven't come all this way to take you home in a box. Now wake up.
Bumble.
Yeah, yell at him some more.
Let me give him a nudge.
Yeah, there you go.
Colonel O'Neill.
Look this way.
Right. To your right.
Carter? Carter?
Yes, sir.
Hi.
Hi, sir. We're gonna find a way to get you back home safe and warm.
Who are you?
You're suffering from anoxia, oxygen deprivation.
Thank you for explaining that.
Do you trust me, sir?
Sure.
Good.
Why
Is Teal
not?
conscious?
Teal. Teal.
O'Neill.
Look, it's Carter.
Ready.
Oh, look, Jack's fully back with it now.
Oh, well, he's got the.
Just tell him to concentrate.
2, 1. Mark.
You push. Probably
Yeah, you
gonna want
gotta push off. Also, if you ever happen to find yourself in their position, keep your eyes closed.
Oh, because it'll freeze, yeah?
Do not open your eyes in this situation, okay? You can survive, but you might be blind if you open your eyes.
Also, what else would happen, right?
Right.
Their flight suits are literally full of feces,
All right.
and they haven't breathed
Flight,
in hours.
this is Digger 2. We have Colonel O'Neill and Teal'c aboard. They're both alive.
Sort of.
Ish.
Welcome aboard.
They need thermal blankets and a shower right now.
Jacob, thanks for stopping by.
Also, on
the
this
hell, I was in
mission,
the
don't you
neighborhood.
think Janet should have gone with them?
You need a lift home?
Oh, 100%. Because they need
Yes.
immediate attention.
Thank you.
You know, the color in his cheeks is really good.
Yeah, very rosy.
Mm-hmm.
Flight, this is Digger 2. We have Colonel O'Neill and Teal'c aboard. They're both alive.
Throw the papers. Okay.
What are they going to do with Digger 1?
Well done.
What are they going to do with the ship?
Now come on home.
It's going back to Apophis. Just let it go.
Yeah. Poof.
I don't know. Harrower might pick it up or something.
Before we gate into the rest of this episode, did you know you're missing most of the content from this podcast? Stargate SG-1 for the first time has an active and exciting Patreon that you can join right now by clicking the link in the show notes. Not only will you get access to the full, unedited podcast and reaction videos, you'll also be able to join a growing, vibrant, maybe even an intergalactic community. Subscribers even get access to all of our content from Babylon 5 for the first time. Don't miss out on this content and the amazing people. Just click the link in the show notes. Teal'c thinks you should do it right now.
Indeed.
All right, Jeff. Well, you and I have just finished watching Tangent. I'd like to say welcome back to our audio listeners out there. Jeff, you've watched it for the very first time. Take us through it, your first experience of Tangent.
I love episodes that take science fiction and make it real. And so what we had in this episode was cool idea, cool new technology, but we're still in space and haven't really figured that out. And to the defense of the SG-1 team, or the SGC in total, they never intended to go into space. Yet that's where they ended up.
Mm-hmm.
We met a new character, General Vidrine. General Vidrine's going to be in charge of this new X-301 thing, program, whatever it is. I like him as a character a lot. Super straight arrow, very by the book, but also can kind of roll with somebody like O'Neill. He's flicking him some stuff, and that was really well done. The big thing in this, though, really is we got Apophis again. Now, my understanding, when it first happened, they're in space and Teal'c's trying to, what's going on, because they've lost control of the ship, and we hear Apophis's voice. And my first impression was that he was communicating with them. Like he says, Shovad. I figured he's talking to Teal'c in real time. But it turns out this is more of a recorded thing and a scripted reaction when things happen for the Death Gliders because of Teal'c. So yes, we have Apophis back. Also, it's previously on Stargate SG-1 Apophis. It's not necessarily in real time, but it was good, I think, just to remind us that Apophis is there and a thing, and an ongoing concern for us. I made a comment early on about the music in this episode, and I want to own that we have another podcast that some people enjoy where we watch another sci-fi franchise called Babylon 5, and as we dove into some movies and spin-off of that, we had some pretty critical conversations around the music. So maybe I'm just hyper aware of it. I want to believe, though, that it was just really, really well done in a way that just stood out on its own. In the beginning, it was happy and bubbly and just this really great feeling that was perfect. Teal'c's having fun, big smile on his face, flying this thing around. We meet Vidrine, and he and Jack, kind of establish their relationship. And then later on, in the moment we realize that like Jack and Teal'c are going to die, and they're going to die a really horrible, lonely and cold death, the music hit in this way that just really gave you those foreboding chills in a really, really good way. We called it out before we started. Two really fun references, one to Star Trek, one to Star Wars. The one I loved it, Jacob. So we went to see Sam's dad.
Always good to see him back. It's always good to visit old friends. Like you talked about Vidrine, but we got Major Davis back. Yeah. We got Jacob back. It's just good to see old friends sometimes.
This really, I didn't think about it before, but this really was kind of a reunion show of really
all
cool
we needed was Braytac and we'd been set.
It would have been great.
Yeah.
And he would have been perfect too. Have him yell at Teal'c to wake him up. Don't Hammond of Texas, you need to find a way to wake this up.
Teal'c, why have you not put yourself into a state of Kelnarim, you selfish?
Right. Whatever. It would have been great. But yeah, Jacob throws the beam him out. What am I, Scotty? And I think we've talked about this before, because didn't we see before somebody throw up the live long and prosper signal. So
Sure.
that, like, Star Trek is canonically part of the SG-1 world, which I think is super cool. And then we got the Punch It from Star Wars. Not only did it was a Punch It, but Total Millennium Falcon of Punch It. Right. So I think this was a fun episode that, like, wove all these pieces of reality and science fiction together. You made the comment at one point, two comments that I think really bear bringing to this part of the conversation. That one, I wrote it down here, that math is the hero in this. Like, math was the thing that could solve, you know, hey, here's how we move. Here's how we do stuff. They joked about doing the math, but it really was the math. And the other thing was how, like, they have these ideas, and Sam gets all the techno babble, it seems, all the time. And she's just so great with it, but she's just whipping this stuff off. Yeah, we got these missiles with a Naquita laced stuff in them and shield modulating emitters and blah, 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 blah. And you were like, as connoisseurs of sci-fi, that makes complete sense to us. Like, that's shorthand for it's going to blow stuff up. right. And we get it. But
that's going to get through the shields.
Exactly. Like, anything they're going to throw, it's going to work. But I just think this episode, they just did a really good job of highlighting and using all those tools. It was slow in spots, but not in a distracting way. Like, it was, I feel like the slowness of it pulled us into the seriousness of the situation that Teal'c and Jack were in.
So, you know, one of the things that I love about Stargate is we can go from an episode last week with Point of No Return with Willie Garrison, and then come into an episode like this that really takes itself seriously. Like, Stargate never really truly takes itself fully serious. You've got Ergo as an episode.
We do.
But then you get episodes like this that are dramatic and full of tension. And I have a question for you, because you've called this out before.
Okay.
Did you ever for a second really think that Teal'c or Jack were going to die?
No, not at all.
Okay. I want to point this out because you, my friend, have called out how, well, I knew they were going to die. They're on the DVD cover. It takes all the whatever out of the tension and what, maybe not. Like, you got to figure out how they're going to solve it. Right. Like,
well, I think that's the difference. It's the emphasis, right? It's where they put the emphasis on the syllable, as they say. And I think in a lot of the episodes, the emphasis is, are they going to get out of this alive? Oh my gosh. Are they going to live? Are they going to survive? Yeah, that was here. But the emphasis of this episode was on the problem solving. And so the story, so it literally was hey, they're going to get saved, but I'm really curious how this is going to happen. And I even think in that it gave Jack a good moment, because we knew he wasn't going to die when because he cracked a couple jokes, you know, when they were going, that would have come across as tragic and sad if we didn't know if he was going to survive or not. Because we knew he was going to survive, it just was, okay, he's Jack. Like, you know, he's being who he is. But we got another dimension of Jack in this also, where he went full military, given, you know, the updates, using, you know, 1911, you know, kind of language, and just really following protocol. And also, he was doing some real problem solving. He wasn't just cracking wise and whatever. He's like, hey, we got these missiles. We can do some stuff. I think it really strengthened his character in a real way that
interesting
wouldn't have happened if I was worried he was going to die. Right. It happened because I was interested in how they were going to get there.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting you say that, because as a longtime watcher of the show, like the character of Jack O'Neill and his military cred has always been rock solid to me. Like, Jack is not the goofball of the show. He is a serious, hardcore military guy who has a really good sense of humor.
I agree. Absolutely.
But that's who he's always been to me. So to hear you say something like he switches into that mode and this is just who he is, and he's not cracking wise the whole time. Like, I'm sitting here going, well, yeah, that's Jack. But to hear that, like, stick out to you is like, I'm sure this is something you have recognized about Jack before now, but just kind of adding this, as another example of that to further that idea is.
I remember I forget the episode, but Colonel Mayborn was in it, and he went full. I remember making the comment, Jack went full Colonel in this, and and I think that's a testament to his character. He doesn't lean on his position or his rank or on being the person with the idea. You know, he's the guy who settles the tension and brings people together and lets other people solve the problems. And he is a full bird colonel who earned that spot and is legit. And we get these moments that remind us of that in a really strong way. And I think for me on my journey, I never didn't think that, but to have the reminder of it right in my face is like, oh yeah, that's right. Dude's legit. So legit. In fact, Brent, we get to do a thing we haven't done in quite a while.
What's that?
We get to update our tracking board. We have 2 updates to make. We got a For Crying Out Loud. No Sam Boyfriend on the. It'd be weird if we got a Sam Boyfriend on this one because she was with her dad.
Yeah.
That would have been really weird. But we got a For Crying Out Loud, and we got an Indeed.
There you go.
It's been an Indeed drought for a long time.
Yes. I promise the time is coming where those Indeeds just start. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason it's his catchphrase. Like, there's a reason there's memes about him saying that phrase.
Yeah. Like, maybe this is like
it's getting there,
kicking it off, and we're kind of going.
Yeah.
So those are my first time reactions to the episode. Brent, did you in your 48th watch now? Did you catch any sci-fi messages in this one?
Man, there was. I don't know that they're necessarily the sci-fi messages. You know, we apply that litmus test of mirrors to society, hope for a better future, how to be better to one another. I don't know if there really was anything like that specifically in this episode. You know, what are the messages that sci-fi is uniquely positioned to teach us? Because there's also messages that any show can just teach us.
True.
And they'll come through. And I think this one had a few of those, but not necessarily the other. And a couple of those I'll throw out. And I feel like we've talked about this a bunch recently, whether it's been here or over at the Babylon 5 show or anything else that we've been doing lately. But one of the things that Teal'c is doing in this really early on is he's carrying guilt that isn't his to carry.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he would never have needed to put that in there until I turned Shova. And so I am indirectly responsible for this. No, you're not responsible directly or indirectly at all. It's not on you, dude. That's something he did. Also, you don't know that he did this before you. You're just assuming that he didn't have to do it before you. But
you're not the only Shol. There's a reason there's a word for Shova. Otherwise, they just call it Teal'c.
There's a reason there's a whole colony with the big staff in the middle of the freaking colony, you know, of camp of people who've done that.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, carrying guilt that's not his to carry. Let's say even if he was, even if Apophis put this in because of what Teal'c did, Teal'c is still in no way, shape, or form responsible for their predicament. Now, Teal'c didn't do it. Apophis is still responsible for Apophis's actions, you know? So anyway, and that is something, you know, certainly we see a lot of times people try to place, but I was having this conversation with my kid the other day. Of our society loves to try to place blame on anyone except for the person who actually committed the crime or the person who committed the offense. It's just the person who committed the offense, you know, like they're the ones that did it, not these other people. And we love trying to find who messed up, who let that squeak through, who did this, dude, that's the guy who did it. You know, it doesn't have to be all these other people. And also, we love boiling it down to that one person.
One person every time.
It's the one person who did it, you know.
Even
somebody's got to take the fall for this.
Even if it's a thing that was no one's fault. Hey, there was a hurricane and it caused huge amounts of damage. There were wildfires and this thing happened, whatever. Well, this one bureaucrat over here, if they had blah, blah, blah. No, it just happened. It just happened.
Yeah. Or this guy who was camping, like thousands and thousands and thousands of other people do camping, had a fire and an ash blew out. Well, did it have all the rocks? Was it Boy Scout safe? Did it have this? Did it have that? Like, you can ask those questions. They're great questions to ask. Sometimes ashes just fly out. You know, one of the other things, and Jeff, I'm trying to be real trepidatious about this topic because I'm not trying to bring up right, wrong. I'm not trying to get into whole discussions about this. But one of the things that we've seen now twice is when tragedy occurs, one of the absolute worst tragedies that has to stop and is not stopping is when you have particularly a kid or a young person, usually a young man who takes a gun and shoots up a school. And what we are now seeing is they're going after the parents of said young person to try to figure out, and they're getting charged and convicted for having a role in what their kid did. And listen, I'm not here to adjudicate and say whether those are right or wrong. But again, my point is we're trying to find other people to blame other than the person who is responsible.
And I'll add on that just a little bit, because I'll step one step further into that conversation. But we're so interested in finding that person to blame that we're not looking at the systemic problems. We're not actually looking to solve the problem. We're just looking for the scapegoat, the whipping boy, to go put in front of the public square and beat up for the thing, as opposed to actually fixing things. Because here's the thing. Stargate SG-1 for the first time is an evergreen show. You can listen to this at any point. And I can tell you that at the time we're recording this, I believe it was yesterday, there was a substantial school shooting that occurred with a number of children that lost their lives. You can put this at almost any point when you listen to this, and that statement's going to be true.
That's so sad.
It's disgusting, and it's horrifying and heartbreaking, but it's because of exactly what you said. We're looking for a person to blame and not actually addressing the problems.
Yeah. So that being said, now I do not want to take this conversation into solving that issue. That's not where we're trying to go. The point being, carrying guilt that's not his to carry. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not on you, and also it's not going to help anything. You're not Teal'c in no way, shape or form could have helped solve any one of their issues by sitting there wallowing in self-pity
at all. Yeah.
Not a one. The other one is this, and this is a good, I think, heads up. Maybe this is a thing that only sci-fi really can do, but this isn't a moral message. I think it's just a warning almost. But Jacob says to them at some point, he's like, you guys didn't earn this technology. Why were you messing around with that? This wasn't yours. Technology like this has to be earned. Otherwise, stuff like this is going to happen. This is that same old conversation of the Prime Directive that we often have. Should more advanced societies give less developed societies their tech? And across the board, the answer is genuinely no.
Right. Resoundingly no.
They tend to blow themselves up if you give them that tech. And we can't do that. That's not good. So, not being okay with not being ready for stuff you're not ready for. To bring that into the real world, the biggest example I can think of this is raising my kid. There are some things my kids just aren't ready to handle yet.
Mm-hmm.
And when they want to know why they can't have something, why they can't do something, why they can't, because they're just not ready to handle it yet. And it wouldn't be loving of me as their parent to allow, I'm not going to let my 12-year-old go drive a car.
Right.
Now there may be a time where it probably soonish, where I'm on a private piece of property and I'm in a nice wide open place. And I say, hey, once you jump in, we'll take this, 50 yards down the road and we'll let you just feel what it's like, but that's because I'm not going to let my 9-year-old do that yet.
Right. Yeah.
We're going to step that out. You gotta be ready for what you got going on. So anyway, is there any real major message? Was it the point of this, or was this just a good 45 minutes of a sci-fi show that presented a problem and we had to go solve it? I think it really was more of the latter.
Yeah.
This wasn't a poignant episode. It's a good episode. I enjoy this episode. It's not one I skip on every watch, but this is not the episode when I'm just looking for 45 minutes to go, I'm going to throw it on.
Right. I can see that.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I do like this episode. So with all of that said, I am going to rate this episode on a scale of 0 to 7 chevrons as to how strong those messages are. They're not very strong, Jeff. I give this one chevron just for the couple of things it threw out there for us. But outside of that, it wasn't. However, I do want to point out, and especially for those that are first time here, that chevron, that rating in no way, shape, or form talks about the quality of the episode or how much we enjoyed the episode. It solely has to do with, did it have any messages? Jeff, my friend, you get to talk about the quality of the episode. You get to talk about how awesome this episode was by placing this episode into our 100% completely accurate and definitive ranking of season 4 of Stargate SG-1. Let's go with our top 5 right now. We'll see if this episode cracks the top 5. Starting at number 5, we have the episode Crossroads. Episode number 4 is Point of No Return, our episode from last week. Episode number 3, Upgrades. That's the one where they got the super fast wrist bracelet things.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Small Victories. And number 1, Window of Opportunity, where they had their own little Groundhog Day. Jeff, does this episode crack the top 5? If so, if not, either way, where do you place this one in the ranking?
I was just thinking how it's going to take one heck of an episode to unseat Window of Opportunity. That was just such a great episode.
It is impossible.
Even you just saying it, I'm just like, I kind of want to go watch that again.
You should.
That was good. Maybe we should just watch it after this.
I have no problems telling you this, Jeff. Window of Opportunity is often ranked as the favorite episode of the entire series.
Yeah.
In various rankings. And I would tell you it is a hands down a top 5, if not a top 3 episode of the series from a episode standpoint, like from an objective standpoint. It's a great episode all the way around.
It really is. But this one, I like this episode a lot. Unfortunately, it's not going to crack the top 5 for us. Their top 5 episodes here are great. And I'm going to take us back to the infamous first ones Beneath the Surface debate of just a few weeks ago. And we're going to land in that same area right now. And that still is very fresh in my mind, having really considered where those two should land. And so, Brent, I'm going to make this one our new number 8, just below Beneath the Surface.
Fair enough. But here's the thing. I'm looking at the second. So we talked about the top 5. Number 6 is the first one. That's the one with the Unos, the ungoulded Unos. Beneath the Surface. That was
the
submarine
prison
one. No, the prison one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was the prison one. And then you're placing this one right there. I mean, that's a great episode. Those are still good episodes.
Absolutely.
All the way
really
around.
Good.
You know?
Really good.
Well, Jeff, that is going to do it for Tangent. Hey, next time, Jeff, I bet you can't guess what this episode is about based on the title alone.
You're probably right.
It's called The Curse.
The Curse.
Good luck. The Curse. What do you got for us?
Is this going to take place in Boston or anything? No. So The Curse, will be a Daniel episode. I don't know if it's going to be a student of his or some colleague or something is going to have unearthed something in Egypt, and Daniel's going to end up going there and then bringing the team out. So it's going to be like a Indiana Jones-ish kind of episode, an archaeological dig sort of a thing.
You're a good guesser, Jeff. You know that?
Clearly. My record speaks for itself.
Well, we'll see just how close to the truth Jeff is next time, right here on Stargate SG-1 for the first time. Thank you guys out there so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts, your YouTubes, your videos, whatever it is. Leave us a rating, a review, and please, the best thing you can do to help us out is share this show with somebody that you know who loves Stargate SG-1, or somebody who, like Jeff over there, needs to get into the gate for the very first time. So until next time, that's Jeff. I'm Brent. We're going to get out of here.
Brent.
Hey, Jeff.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
If you're thinking it's time for us to just end the episode, then yes.
No, not really that.
Are you thinking what I think you're thinking, Jeff? Are you thinking what I think you're saying?
If you think I'm saying that we should just dive into another episode right now, then yes, I am.
Indeed. Are you really that, like, you just want to go for another episode?